What up, y'all? It's your girl, Crazy Kerins. If you are interested in hearing my story on infertility, then I encourage you to keep on watching. If you're not interested in hearing my story, subscribe anyway. All right, so here we go. My story on infertility. I feel compelled to share this because I didn't realize how many women, how many couples have this issue. I thought it was, just like a handful of people. No, there's a lot of people that want to have children and can't, have a difficult time. And so when I found myself married, I think I was 36. How old was I when I got married, y'all? I need to figure this one out. Whatever. Let's just say 36, okay? So I got married, and my husband and I were both in our mid-30s, and we were like, do we want to start having kids right now? Do we want to wait? And we're like, you know what? Let's just jump in. Let's just start, okay? And I thought it was going to be wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You know what I'm saying? Like, in and out. Done. And it wasn't the case. Not at all. We were trying, nothing was happening. And so I went to my doctor. I started having some like abnormal bleeding. I've never in my life, nunca en mi vida, mi gente, never have I had like an irregular menstrual cycle. And now all of a sudden, it was just weird. So I went to my doctor, and I told her, I want to have kids. I'm not sure. I think maybe. She was like, yes or no, do you want to have kids? And I'm like, I know that kids are in my future. I know that I am supposed to have a family. I just know, but I just don't know if I should do it now. And so she encouraged me to go to a fertility specialist, and she gave me the number, she gave me everything. And by the way, I love my doctor. She rocks. Okay. So she was like, listen, even if you're not sure if you want to have babies right now, just go and have yourself checked out and give yourself the peace of mind to know that you either have the luxury of time or that you don't have the luxury of time. So I was like, okay. So reluctantly, I went. And just to let you know, the reason why she was encouraging me to go is because she ran a blood test on me. I was 36. Man, I need to find out right now how old I was. I'm 30. I don't even know what I'm moving on. So she ran a blood work, and when the blood work came back, it was showing that I was like right about to go into menopause at 36 or 35, one of them ages. Okay, and I was shocked. I was like, my body's already like tripping. Like, I'm already going into menopause. Like, this can't be the case. Yo, I look cute today. I need to do a video on this twist out that I did. Okay, back to the topic at hand. I'm mad random, y'all. Pray for me. Woo! So I went to the fertility specialist, and of course I spoke to my husband, and he was on board, and I went. And I was shocked at the process. The consultation is not a 10-minute consultation, y'all. It's like a 3-hour consultation. You meet with the doctor, and the doctor pretty much explains the team of people that are going to be working with you, because it's not just you and a doctor, it's you and a team. It's a doctor, it's an assigned nurse, it's an assigned case manager, an assigned financial manager, y'all, because this stuff isn't cheap, And so you have this team that is created for you to create this human life. And so in the first part of the consultation, the doctor takes me into her office, and she asks me, so what do you know about this process? And I said, well, I've heard of IVF, and that's it. And so she was, okay, well, at least you know something. So then she starts going through these charts, and she explains to me the different methods. There's in vitro, there is like in utero something. I can't give you the medical terms because it was just overwhelming, but I'll tell you this. There's one process where they extract the sperm from your male counterpart or from the sperm bank, whatever you're going to be using. They get the sperm, they put you on like some type of like hormones or pills or whatever, and then when you start ovulating, they insert the sperm into you, the little swimmers. Another process is when they extract the sperm from whatever source you're getting it from, and they extract your eggs, and then they mix it in a petri dish like a science project, and they create the human in a petri dish, y'all. They create the embryo, and then they create a few of them, and you pick the one you want, and they put it back in you. Y'all, you know what freaked me out about that? Is that she says, science and technology are so advanced that of the embryos that we create in the lab, we can find out the sex, and you can decide, I want to implant 3 embryos, 2 boys and 1 girl. She says also, once the embryo is about 5 days old, we can go in with like a microscopic needle and insert it into like the cell, and we extract it, and we can find out if that embryo has any genetic defects, if the embryo has blue eyes, brown eyes. I was shocked. I cannot believe how advanced science is, and I was like, whoa, this is awesome. It's crazy, but it's awesome. So okay. Then the other part of the consultation is an actual physical exam. So this is when you start becoming the science experiment. And so they go on, and it's an inside type of exam. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And so they check out your uterus, they check out the lining, they check out like the follicles, they check out your whatever, your fallopian tubes, and then from there, then they set you on your schedule. And the schedule coincides with your menstrual cycle. So day 1 of my cycle, I had to call my nurse and tell her, okay, it has started. And then on day 3, I had to go in. It doesn't matter if it's a holiday. It didn't matter if it was a weekend, a Sunday. They're always open, okay? Because you're trying to make a baby. And so on day 3, I had to go in. Day 3 for me was like a Tuesday morning or something, and I had to go to work. And I'm like, but what if I have to go to work? Like, I don't want to miss work all the time, because I know that at the end of the process, when you have to extract my eggs and do all this stuff, like, I'm going to be out of commission for a few days, so I want to save my days. She goes, don't worry about it. Our office opens at 5 a.m. I said, what? 5 a.m. So literally on my 3rd day, I woke up from my house. It was maybe 3:30 in the morning. Whew. I got dressed. I got in my car. I drove 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm thinking I'm going to get there at 5. I'm going to be the first one in and out. Y'all, this is what hit me, how real the situation was. By 5 a.m., there was a line of people waiting for them to open. Broke my heart, because I saw how so many people were dying to have a baby. And I thought that it was just a handful of people, and I was like, whoa. So it was just very shocking to me. So okay, mess up my makeup, y'all. So I went in, they drew my blood, they did everything they had to do, and I went to work. And so then I forgot what I had to do after day 3, but then I had to go back and schedule a procedure. And the procedure was to check my fallopian tubes. I forgot what it's called, but I'll describe it. And if any of you need to know what it is, just, I guess, write the description in on the Google search, and it'll tell you, or I'll find out and then I'll just put it in the description box below, and you can research it on your own if this is something that you find yourself having to do. So once my period was over, again, I have to call my nurse and tell them, okay, this is done. They schedule maybe like 3 days later a saline ultrasound, where they pump saline up into your uterus, and they check everything again to see how it's doing after the menstrual cycle. And then they check, sorry, I got a text message interrupting me. Don't interrupt me while I'm vlogging, y'all. Whatever. So, again. So, what was I saying? Okay, and then they schedule you for this procedure, and they have to schedule you for the procedure. I think it was like 10 or 11 days, like after your period, or something like that. They have to schedule it in a way in between the window of the end of your cycle and then before you start ovulating, because they don't want to mess with that egg. So I go for the procedure, and I'm having to like fill out release forms because it's like it's considered like I guess a surgery. I don't know, whatever. I had looked at the YouTube videos on women that had had this procedure, and everyone was like, oh my God, it was so painful. Oh my God, it hurt so much. I was dizzy and sick, and I was out of commission for a day or two, and I'm like, oh my God. So I went, whatever. I was committed to the process because I was going to have a kid, and they did the procedure, and basically, not to be like too like graphic, but you get on a table, right, and it's an x-ray. It's like this huge x-ray machine around your body, and your legs are up in, you know, the little stirrups that all us women are used to when we go to the doctor for our yearly exams. Make sure y'all go. Don't mess with that nonsense. So you're up there, and then there's a doctor, and then there's the nurse. And so now the doctor goes in with this long needle, and she inserts the needle, and she gives you like anesthesia or like a lidocaine or whatever. She numbs your cervix, so you're getting a needle in your cervix. Weird, right? I know. I'm telling you, you become a science project. Then after that, she takes another long tube, and she now inserts it through your cervix, and it goes up into your uterus. And then what she does is she pumps in a dye, and then the dye fills into your uterus. Man, I wish I had the pictures of this. I'm watching it. She goes, okay, so the goal is to pump in this fluid and to see it flow through both fallopian tubes, to see that there is nothing being blocked. So I said, okay. So I'm thinking, I'm waiting for the pain. I'm waiting. She goes, let me know if you're uncomfortable. And I'm like, I got this. So she starts inserting the liquid, and you feel a little bit of cramping because like your uterus is becoming a balloon, but it wasn't painful. Like, not at all. Not at all. So they fill it with the dye, and I'm watching the screen, and I see that the dye is going through one side and it's flowing through, and there's blockage on the other side. So one of my fallopian tubes was blocked. She goes, okay, so there's blockage on this side. Let's try again. Pushes more of that dye in there, and lo and behold, it flows through. So now I've got this dye flowing through both my fallopian tubes. She says everything was clear and clean, and that was good. So they make you sit down in the waiting room for like 15-20 minutes to make sure that you're not dizzy or anything, that you're okay to drive, and then you go home. And then of course they send you home, and they tell you no, whatever, which I forgot to tell you. When you start the process for infertility, you have to abstain. Okay, so now I go home, and at this point, I had been poked and prodded so many times, like waking up at 3:30 in the morning to go make these 5 o'clock appointments, standing out in the cold, waiting for the doctor's office to open to go through this whole process. It's crazy. So at this point, I also had to have a genetic counseling interview, and I had it not over the phone, but online. It was pretty cool. Like, if you couldn't go into the office, you scheduled an online meeting, and the genetic counselor calls you. And I actually had this meeting at work during my lunch period. And so the counselor starts asking me, you know, on your father's side, on your mother's side, on your husband's father's side, your husband's mother's side, your personal medical history, siblings, etc. And they pretty much create like a map to see what this potential child will be exposed to. And for those of you that don't know, my sister has a condition, spina bifida, and so that's a neural tube defect, aka a defect in your spine. For those of you that didn't know, I had a brother. Yes, his name was Elias, and he passed away. He also had this neural tube defect. My husband, for those of you that don't know, he is part Russian Jewish, and so according to where he is from, or the Russian Jewish side, there are some genetic diseases that are synonymous with Ashkenazi Jew. I had no idea. So After they do this whole, sorry y'all, my boogers are coming out, keeping it real. Oh, Lord help me. So after they do this whole map, the lady says, I recommend that you would have more testing done, more blood work, more poking and prodding, because this child has the potential of being subject, this potential child that you're trying to create has the potential of having the following diseases, the following defects. Nobody wants to hear that. I'm telling you, this process is so mind-blowing. So mind-blowing. And so I spoke to my husband, and my husband, he was like, you know what? You've been poked and prodded so much already this month. He said, we're just going to trust in God at this point. I said, well, yes. Because that's how I was feeling. I was saying to myself, Lord, I've gotten this far, and I don't know if I can continue doing this. I haven't even gotten to the treatments where I have to take the pills or where I have to inject myself. Like, oh my God, like I don't want to do this anymore. And so when I heard my husband say that to me, I felt 100% at peace. I felt God was speaking through my husband. I felt that I got the confirmation I needed to just trust the process from that point on. And so y'all look at me, I messed up my lipstick. Ooh, this is serious. All right, I'm back to being cute. So we left it at that. And the doctor tells you can't do anything for the whole month. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, something else happened that month. Because I'm telling you, when the enemy wants to attack and steal your joy, he'll do anything. I found 2 lumps in my left breast, y'all. What the heck? I was like, what? Lo que nunca. And so I had to have 2 biopsies. And during the biopsies, y'all, they I guess, hit a blood vessel. And y'all could ask my sister, because my sister was there. And they're running in and out of the room, getting gauze. And I've got this huge old man doctor pressing on my boob to stop the bleeding. And I'm like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die from a biopsy. It's over. Tell my family I love that. I didn't die, y'all, because I'm here. Okay? So I was just stressed out. The process of the infertility treatments or the fertility treatments, finding these 2 lumps, which, by the way, praise God, they're just fibroadenomas. They are not cancerous. They are not malignant. God is good. So I was stressed out. So my husband and I, we were just forget everything, forget the world, and, not to be too whatever, but we were husband and wife. And because that whole month I was still going through treatment, we were husband and wife only one night, because I wanted to make sure that I was following the directions that the fertility doctor had asked me to follow. And so all of a sudden I am having this genetic counseling meeting online, and then that same night I had we had little spring party for my students, the band students and the choir students. And that whole night I was jumping, and I was we were dancing. We had DJ. Whoa, 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 whoa. And back then I loved soda. I could drink soda all day, every day. And I took a sip of soda, and I was like, oh God, this is disgusting. And I couldn't drink it. And I went to eat something, and everything just tasted really weird to me. Whatever. That weekend my grandmother came to visit. And she kept saying, when are you going to get pregnant? When are you going to get pregnant? I'm like, well, you don't say. Because I didn't tell everybody that I was doing these treatments. I think the only people that knew were my husband and my sister. That was it. I just think that was it, my husband and my sister. My God, this vlog is long. I have to hurry up. So, what I didn't know, y'all, is that I was pregnant already. That one night of being husband and wife, I got pregnant. I didn't realize it. And so I was supposed to get my period on March 31st. And mind you, remember, you're supposed to call your nurse and tell them, okay, I'm getting the period again, so that they can start you on the treatment. And March 31st, I'm like, I should have gotten it. I didn't get it. And so I was like, well, they always tell you when you take a pregnancy exam, or test, exam. Look at me, the teacher mode. Wait to take it in the morning, where your urine is, concentrated because it's been sitting in you the whole night, and the hormone, the HCG hormone, the pregnancy hormone, is probably at its most potent phase. And so I waited, and so what's the next day after March 31st, y'all? April 1st. So I pee on a stick, and I'm waiting, and when I look at that stick, and it said pregnant. It was one of those digital ones, that pregnant. It wasn't a line, it wasn't a plus, it was the word pregnant. And I was just like, I had to look at it like 5 times. I'm like, babe, oh my God, babe. He's like, what? Mind you, it's like 6 a.m. Not like 5:30, I was getting ready for work. And I was like, babe, oh my God, look, I'm pregnant. He was like, this better not be one of your stupid April Fool's jokes. You better not. And I'm like, I'm not joking, I'm pregnant. And so, I was pregnant on April Fool's Day. I found out I was pregnant with Kennedy, and I had to go to the fertility treatment center. Can't even speak, y'all. And I had to ask to get a blood test to confirm that I was pregnant, so that they can release me back to my regular doctor. And so when I go there and I'm standing in line, because remember, 5 a.m. in the morning, and it's like a line. Mind you, it's Good Friday, April 3rd. Good Friday. And I'm standing there, and there are 2 women there, and they're talking, and I'm listening, and the one lady was like, yeah, I've been doing this 5 cycles already, and my insurance won't pay for it anymore, but I'm using my savings. I really want to have a baby. And the other lady saying, oh, this is my 2nd cycle. I got like an infection at the injection site. I'm really, really sore. It hurts. She goes, this is tough. And then, oh my God, the person that texted just said, you're home making YouTube videos. I hate them, but they're right. My friends know me. Oh my God, so yeah. So, I gotta end this vlog. This is a really long vlog. Oh my God. So, I'm listening to them, and my heart is breaking, because I'm hearing them talk about their stories and how long they've been trying, and nothing is working out for them. And here I got pregnant naturally. It just happened after being told that hormonally you're about to go into menopause. I got pregnant. And to fast forward through the pregnancy, I had fibroids, and it was a huge issue because they were in the way and all of whatever. And I still had the baby. I had Kennedy, and she was great. She came out. Granted, they had to use like the forceps to take her out because she was stuck, because when my doctor opened me up, all of my organs had shifted in there. They weren't in places that they should have been. My vaginal canal, yes, I said it, y'all, was not aligned to where it should be aligned to. My canal is actually in an incline, and it is inclined toward my right leg. And so even if I wanted to have a regular natural birth, there was absolutely no way that baby was going to come out, because I just wasn't aligned on the inside, and they had to take her out. And Kennedy came out with like a bloody eye. It was tough for her to take her out. And on the table, I was joking, and I said to my doctor, oh, you better get ready for number 2. And the other doctor said, I don't think so. I don't think you should have another baby. This is really bad in here. And my doctor, I love her so much. I love my doctor. She said, no. We'll talk about that in my office. Don't worry. How you gonna say that while I'm open on the table? I can't stand people. I really can't. Oh, I love people, but I can't stand people that just run their mouth. And really, lady, come on, stop. So whatever. So to fast forward again, my husband and I start thinking about baby number 2, and we planned him to the T, and it worked. We got pregnant again. Oh my goodness. And not once in my entire 2nd pregnancy did any doctor mention my fibroids. And I saw two doctors, 2 different specialists, because remember, I was very high risk. So that's 4 doctors, and I saw about 3 3 different ultrasound techs. No one mentioned my fibroids till this day. No one can see them, y'all. Not only that, but when I went back for my second genetic counseling with my second child, because again, all these issues in my family, my husband's family, and they ran through my blood work. Do you know what the blood work said? The blood work said that my hormones were that of a woman in her 20s. Y'all, God is good, because here I was in my mid-30s and I was told that I was about to go through menopause, that I wasn't going to be able to have children. And here I am, my second baby, and my hormones are now like as if I was a 20-something-year-old. It's as if God had reversed time in my body and just turned back the hands of time. So I'm grateful that God gave me the opportunity to have 2 beautiful babies, healthy babies, no issues, no defects, no nothing. And so I get emotional because I'm grateful with what God has done in my life. If there's anyone out there that is watching this, that is dealing with infertility, go through the process if you have to. Go see a doctor. I firmly believe that God gave us, humanity, mankind, the ability to think and to deal with science. I see nothing wrong with science. I believe that God uses science when He has to use it. And I also believe that God, does miracles. And I believe that I am a walking miracle. So if you are in this situation, go see a doctor, get yourself checked out. But throughout the entire process, you trust God and you believe in God for the greatness that He is and for the great things that He can do in your life. So I hope that you enjoyed this vlog, this extremely long vlog. I am so sorry. Try not to keep them long, but this one was a heavy duty topic that I really felt compelled to share for the past 2 years, and I couldn't muster up the courage to share it until now. So as always, y'all, give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Even if you didn't, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, and I will see you next time.